Hey, Joe, welcome to the podcast. Thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Zed, for having me. It's a great day.
Before we even talk about Best Mutts and your business, I'd love to know about you. Where did you grow up and how did you get into the mozzarella business?
Great question. Thank you for having me again. Just yeah, I was born and raised in Italy. I arrived in this country 1976,
What part of Italy?
Calabria.
Calabria. Okay.
I arrived here in 1976, and I within a couple months I got a job working for delis, what we used to call then it was Maria, and you know, places like Sbarro. Sbarro was a Maria place before business, before they became in pizza and hot food and stuff like that. You know what I'm talking about, Sbarro?
Yeah, of course. They used to be everywhere
Yeah.
back when I was a kid. But were you doing this when you were younger in Italy, or did you get
No,
into? No.
everything started here. Like I say, in Sbarro, we were making mozzarella there.
How old were you? Sorry, the time.
16.
Wow.
Yeah. I just turned 16 after a few months I was here. And yeah, that's when I see first the mozzarella being made right in front of me, and that caught me fascinating. I thought it was the greatest thing. I say, wow, that was then. What I hear people from here say when they see me doing it now, I say that then when I saw the first time. So that wow is still exists today after so many years, and that makes me so happy and proud of doing what I do. Really.
And you're sharing that magic with others. That's amazing.
Yes, absolutely. Hey, listen, by us having it and hold it for ourselves and taking it down with us, it doesn't help anybody.
I couldn't agree more. What's the story behind Best Mutts? What inspired you to start this venture?
Hmm. Great question, I'll tell you, and a deep one too. um, Best Mutts actually came right after 9/11. Uh,
Wow.
Maybe many people hear this that probably weren't even were born then. 9/11. I had I always had a business, kind of my whole life. And 9/11, my last store that I had, took it down. We had to close down, and
What was that store?
the store was called Joe's Taste of Italy, and it was located on Page Avenue, Staten Island, New York. That was the last one. I had a few others in the past years.
Mhm.
Um, but that, yeah, 9/11 came and we had to shut down because it was, we were impacted by that because being where we were and all that, and the people in the area that many family lost families
Yeah.
members and all that. So the streets were like, you know, nobody was out
Did a lot of first responders, I'm sure, from there.
yeah, yeah, many.
Yeah.
Yeah, matter of fact, there's streets that we they named after them. Many,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's so I had to shut down the store, and all of a sudden it's what am I doing now? That's
Yeah.
a tough question, right? And
Yep.
but thank God it was like I started making mozzarellas, with out in the honestly, I could tell you I've been to different location markets, full markets and stuff like that, for at least about a year. I even had um, different things happen within that time that you know many things was going on. It's been now about 20, almost 25 years. So
Wow. So you were going around different markets, like sourcing ingredients and things like that, or
yeah, just to make mozzarellas for in front of people and guests like that. I mean, I'm a guest in front of customers. I mean, that they would come. I was using that as a retail, um, to just to bring some money at home to pay the bills.
mm-hmm.
And I did that for a couple of years, and after that, honestly, I had the opportunity to go inside the stores and started making mozzarella for stores, Jersey, because I do travel. I don't. I'm not established in one. I don't have an establishment. My
Right.
business is based on traveling throughout the East Coast, basically. Next week I'll be in Florida. You know,
Nice.
yeah, and and if it will be Boston or anything in between, well, that's how it works. And so that was the story I would say behind Best Mutts is because I was left with nothing to do. Um, People in my own industry, they know me for years for my life. They don't. I cannot hire you. You overqualified. In other words, I'm a
Hmm.
store owner. I do from A to Z my business, and then all of a sudden, even Francis said they don't want to be, kind of say how much can we pay you?
Right, right.
You deserve, you take our pay basically if we're gonna pay you what, but and that's one of the things that you don't want to put anybody in that position anyway. But um, so I decided to get out there and started getting even got a lunch truck, a trailer actually, started doing lunches. The time right after 9/11, Jersey City in New Jersey was like a lot of things were going on. Buildings were going up and all that. It was very busy. So I ended up there and for a little while, and then I had the opportunity, like I said, to go inside the store, and I started making mozzarella for the stores, so like delis and little supermarkets.
So like in the deli or the like sometimes you see a butcher corner or you were like a mozzarella corner. So like in the deli or in the supermarket, there's like an area and there'd be like fresh cheese and you'd be making the mozzarella basically.
Not in front of guests. Let me say, I brought this out after in front of the guests. Listen to me. I don't even know what I'm saying. Uh, in front of the public. What do you see me do now
Mm-hmm.
is what is things that we will never be able to do before because you always made mozzarella in the back of the store,
Mm-hmm.
in the kitchen,
Right.
and then bring it out and put it on a counter or and serve it to the people. But we never made it in front of the people, the mozzarella. It was manually made by hand with no gloves on like we do now. I have to use not one pair, I use two pairs of gloves. Um, and because I do make it in front of the people, in front of the public, you know.
Yeah, and people get
And,
weirded out by it. Yeah.
yeah, in front of guests in the venues, weddings and parties and corporate parties that I do. Actually, people actually see me making it
Mhm.
because it's made in front of them. That's the show that I perform and do for them, and interacting with them personally because people never seen this before. So it was they amazed to say, "Hey, wow, this is mozzarella." They know what it is, and some
Right.
people don't. Some people don't know what it is.
They eat it, but they don't always know how to appreciate it. So like what inspired you? I know you've been hand rolling mozzarella for over 40 years. What inspired you to come out from behind the kitchen and kind of do these kind of like shows in a way?
Yes. Wow, it was not more inspiration. It was like I would say more like an open door that I was able to walk in, and I always believe, I have a faith, and I always believe in a God that is alive, and He opened the door, so
Wow.
walk in, you know?
That's amazing. So take us behind the scenes a little bit for a moment. You know, I'd love to talk more with you also about what your shows, what you're doing at these corporate events and these you know, weddings and all of that. But, you know, tell us just a little bit about who's your customer base. You know, I know you mentioned travel a lot. What's a typical week for you?
All right, so you just there's many questions at once.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like where are your customers and you know is it like you have an event every day or like how does it work?
Well, events happen at least an average 3 to 4 week. Each event basically, it's an average of 200 or more people. And those are the people, the customers that they call me later. I love the way you're doing over there. I want you to have for my party, and that's the promotion, for, so to speak, the hands-on, and then I have also people that they see me, but they give my name and my number to others that they need, and that's the you know how you say the mouth the
Word
word
of
of,
mouth.
yeah, that it goes out from me to get business. Basically, that's where my people are from all over. I mean, doesn't have to be specific area, because being that I travel,
Hmm.
I get people requesting. People ask me when they see me at a party, will you travel to North Carolina, to South Carolina? I say, yeah.
So in your service, your line of work, there's marketing is just sort of baked into it. In other words, some businesses it's like, oh, I'm selling a software and you have to explain the whole thing. But for you, it's like, you know, you're at a party and you can tell me if I'm describing it right. Let's say I'm at someone's you know, graduation party or something in the house. There's like 150 people there,
Yeah.
and and somewhere in like the living room or something you're there basically showing, demonstrating how to make mozzarella, making it kind of fun, taking people through the process and serving it. And people see that and it's like, it becomes a talking point. It's like, wow, look at that. That's fun. This is cool. Hey, how much does it cost to do this? I'd like to have it at my next event. Is that basically kind of how it goes?
More or less. I do that plus whatever you just described is basically what I would do at a the mozzarella class, which we do mozzarella classes as well. That's described where you just say it was described, it would be described that, because I will show exactly what I do. I've actually in a mozzarella class, I actually go through history of a mozzarella, down to the name why it's called mozzarella. You know, people don't even know that.
Can you just share that quick? Well, just like, why is it called mozzarella? I don't even know.
Oh, we're not in a class, okay?
Yeah, okay, okay. We
I
can save
share
it
that,
for the class.
I share that with you. Being that mozzarella is Italian, right? The verb mozzare means separate, you know, cut,
Mhm.
or however, and that gives you, based on the verb, then the action that we do when we make the mozzarella is always by cutting, and not cutting by knife, but cut it by your hand, you
Mhm.
know, by you know, really doing that, and that gives you the name mozzarella. You know, it's, you know, that's comes a little bit, and
Mhm.
that's, I do teach, not teach, I talk about that because through the classes when we do mozzarella classes. Now, to go back to the parties, because that's something that it's a little different.
Mhm.
I do a couple different things. I also make a ricotta, a fresh
Mm.
ricotta from scratch. You know, when you get it from, you know, the curds on the way, with the whey, you know, you have
Yep.
boy, right? But when you were little, curds on
Yeah.
the way, miss a little muffin, whatever was that.
That on a tough. Yep.
There you go. So I do that as well, and that's a different station. And also the mozzarella. Also, the another station is the burrata station that I make as well. And
Ooh.
they're all different things that, you know, based on what people need. We customize a menu based on the event individually. when we do an event like a wedding or a party or a corporate event, we make a menu, customized menu, of course, for those people there. We always talk about allergies and food allergies and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Which
Right.
it is you need to know those things. I mean, I go through the whole process of what's going on. What else takes place at the mostly we do is a cocktail hour at the events, which is an hour, could be an hour and a half, it could be 2 hours, or it could be a cocktail party, which you go up to 3 hours or so. So I go through all that, with the
Like
people.
at a wedding or something.
Yeah, a wedding. Let's say, what else do they serve at the wedding? Because honestly, weddings are very expensive these days.
Yeah.
And you want people to have some, choices of food. We don't want to serve the same thing 3 times in a row, this made different way, so I go over with that with with the people that they, sometimes it's the bride and the groom together or whatever, whoever gives the party, whoever in charge of the party. Sometimes they have the event, the people that they put it together, the events, and we'd go over with them. If they don't know what do I do, what do they serve, and then I tell you, we could do anything basically with mozzarella. Honestly, mozzarella is not just the mozzarella we used to know. Mozzarella today became it's been one of the mostly the cheese mostly sold or used in the United States of America.
Wow, more than American or cheddar or
Yeah, a lot more. Think about it. You can have mozzarella if you have pizza. What do you have? Mozzarella, and you can have how many usage? I go through that also. The use of a mozzarella in a class, we go through the use of a mozzarella, how to store it, what to use for. People eat it, but they don't even know it's on there.
right. That's exactly true. Sometimes they call it pizza cheese. They don't know that's mozzarella.
This,
Yeah. And it makes sense to have variety at a wedding. I've been to weddings and they got a sushi station, you got a kebab station, but like have a mozz station, a mozzarella station. That's awesome. I mean, I'm crashing that wedding. Yeah.
Right.
And I know that due to the uniqueness of what you do, you've built up quite a social media following. You have an online presence, a great website, which is linked in the show notes, bestmozz.com. But I wanted to ask you, like, tell us a little bit how you came up with like the name, the branding, the presentation, and I know a lot of it's word of mouth, but like it's sort of like you created a persona, you created a brand. Tell me a little bit about how that came about.
Let's start with the name first. Well, it's a man of faith that I am. I would go to church, and I know my pastor, and he knows me, and he knows what I'm going through. And say, we were talking one day. I said, I need to come up with a name for what I'm gonna do here, and he says, "Best Mozz."
He had divine inspiration.
Amen. Oh, I said, oh, okay, that sounds good. So that's where the name came from.
Nice.
What do I come up with? I've been doing this, what we call a mozzarella, which is the rolled mozzarella.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives it a name. It's a mozzarella roll, special. So to be one word, we named it mozzarella. Spelled.
Love it.
Cool. Let me see if I could find it with the way it's written. Something new. Okay, let me see if I put it on the camera here this way.
For those watching, yeah, and
Yeah,
I'll put that in the show notes too.
Yeah. See, the first thing there, mozzarella.
Mm-hmm.
You see the way it's
Yeah, Mozza -ROLL -A. Mozzarella. Yeah.
There you go. Instead, the only thing changes is that the E, where the always supposed to be an E, and that will be named now. Now you read mozzarella.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a roll, we just change the E to O, and we separate it to show that it's a roll of mozzarella.
I love it. That's brilliant. Um, and another few questions, before we wrap up. I wanted to know also, like, you use fresh, mozzarella, burrata, ricotta, like finest ingredients. And I know it's not always easy to source fresh ingredients. There are plenty of brands and things in the supermarket. Not all of them are created equal. There's different types. Some are better quality than others. And then, of course, you're traveling a lot. So I'd love to know, how do you ensure the authenticity and quality of your products? And how do you, keep them fresh and ensure everything's best quality, while you're traveling around and stuff?
Okay. The quality based, as people know about food, the more, they say, an old Italian say, whatever you put in the pot comes out of the pot. So if you put good stuff in the pot, good stuff you eat because it comes out good. Now, I always, before I do a party, I take my time and buy the product, everything directly for that. Just whatever they choose, whatever we're gonna make, I go shopping personally at the best markets that I have around me. Sometimes I travel. I know where I get some certain things, that they're better than other places. Certain markets are better than others. So even if I have to travel down, South Jersey for a marketplace or whatever, I do that. I'll take the time. I prepare, I make it, and then to the freshness of the mozzarella. The mozzarella is made right there on the premise. Where we
Doesn't get fresher than that.
it cannot be no fresher than that. Exactly. So it's made right there fresh that day, couple hours before, to get ready for the customer, for the guest. And so it's only when you eat the mozzarella that I'm serving you, it's only within maybe 2 to 3 hours made. And then on top of that, to get even fresher, as the guests arriving and coming in, they actually see me stretching mozzarella curd and making a little bocconcini, little bit braids, little knots, in front of them, that they have it right there in front of them, warm, nice.
Wow. The way it's meant to be experienced, like in Italy.
It's meant to be. I love that.
Yes. And then, what aspects of, I guess, I know you say you sometimes in the classes you teach a little bit about the history. What aspects of like Italian culture tradition do you incorporate into the cheese making process, or are there any things you can share with us about how to, obviously I'm not going to ask you to give away all your secret recipes, but is there any tips you have for any of us? How to make it at home, or make our food better?
Yeah, but there is no secrets. I make in front of you. This way you can see. There is no really nothing behind the scenes that you don't see.
Right. Okay.
It's in front of you. If I fabricate something in front of you, you actually see what I do. To bring it, the Italian, we eat that stuff. We eat mozzarella, we eat prosciutto, we eat stuff like that. Food like soppressata, we eat that. Sausage, broccoli wrap. We do, and I put all that in there. I mean, I make different mozzarella, sun-dried tomatoes, roasted peppers. I even making chicken parmesan, eggplant parmesan, and mozzarella, buffalo chicken. And things. Like I said before, there is not much that I cannot do with mozzarella.
Right. It seems like you could do anything with it, and I know not just mozzarella, even burrata, ricotta, and like all these. You have an extensive menu of a lot of Italian and Italian American classic dishes. What do you envision as the future for Best Mozz? Any new projects, expansions on the horizon, or you know, where do you think it's going in the next few years?
Well, that's I would like to continue doing what I love what I do. I don't how you say, to do something right, you need to do, it has to be love. You know, the best ingredients is uh TLC, as they say. Um, and I love what I do. I think if I continue to do what I do, I love to talk to people, to meet new people. I be different places all the time. Yeah, yeah. Honestly, overwhelmed with what I do and not thinking of the future that much.
Yeah, your
I,
passion for food, for mozzarella, and for people really
yeah,
shines across.
people. I love to the people that they, when they come up to me and they say, "Ooh, that's fresh mozzarella." Yeah, here, have one, a bocconcino, nice and warm, and they put it in their mouth. They walk, and I do that all the time. The people walk away. I say, "Excuse me, can you have that now? I just want to see that expression of your face. You know what it means to you, that fresh mozzarella. You know, because that's to me more than money, honestly.
Wow. So you're bringing
Expression you can,
smiles, delight to people.
yeah, you cannot pay that expression of people. You know how much you give to somebody, to a chef. It's like you go into any restaurants and the chef he loves when people love his food. You know, and you give him a compliment, just say that was great. That's more than he gets paid to be there.
Amazing. Yeah, for sure. That's the secret ingredient in any dish, right? The
Yeah,
love and the passion for,
yeah.
you know, making people happy. And, you know, I just wanted to ask, I know that you do events and we're going to put all that in there. What about the classes? So where do the cheese classes happen? Is that at
That's
someone's house or where do you do those?
exactly when you we can do, we go to people's house. We don't have a place because the classic could take, oh, the guy in South Jersey wants to do a class. If he's not going to come to me, but it's best for me to go to him. Or the guys in Long Island, he wants to have a mozzarella class and invited 30, 40 of his friends, you know, or more. You know, we could do even for more. And what do? We make mozzarella with each one of them, you know, and they take it home. You know, besides the fact, before what I do, I make a mozzarella in front of them, they sample it, they, you know, that's a whole thing that we do, take care of all that before that,
Right.
you know, and yeah, so it's, you know,
So people don't have to wait around. If they're hungry, they get a little taste.
it's
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Awesome. So everyone watching, listening to this, definitely head over to the show notes. Check out his website, bestmutz.com. Follow him on Facebook, on Instagram, LinkedIn. And Joe, this is really a pleasure. I really appreciate you coming on the podcast. It was really
You,
awesome learning about you and what you do.
thank you so much. It was a great pleasure to be here and to speak where everybody hears my voice and sees this. I want to show this is a one of our, you know, that's where you say Bass Mutz. This is my one of the pamphlets we give parties and with business cards and so on. People could take, you know, but you could go, like you say, on Facebook, Instagram. Instagram is actually Best Mutz NY. That's where they put it.
Awesome. Yes, I'll put that in there. And yes, anyone definitely look into Joe. Use him at your, you know, use his services at your next party. Have a Mutz station or sign up for one of his, you know, have a mozzarella class at your next party or event. Thank you so much, Joe, and definitely we'll talk again soon.
Thank you so much, Theo. Have a great day.